What is your holy land? That place which is sacred, the one you hold in your heart. That is the question at the center of this manga. Where is it you belong? Where is that place in which you feel happy, needed, and fulfilled? Yuu Kamishiro is a high school student, bullied, depressed, and thinking of ending things. He has no holy land, no place he can call his own. One day, he picks up a book which shows him how to punch. And from that day, through sheer force of will and repetition, Yuu Kamishiro starts down a path to become strong, to fight back against those who seek to harm him, and begins his journey to find his holy land. Although it may seem that Holy Land is a retrotting of the same old tired shonen tropes, it has at its core themes which resonate strongly with many. It also asks many questions which it tries to answer. Questions about violence and one's place in society, one's worth, and profound questions of sanctity and sanctuary. Kouji Mori's Holy Land was created because of the author's self-confessed troubles in his youth. I think the emotional message of this manga is absolutely exceptional because of this personal attachment of Kouji Mori's. Holy Land is not autobiographical, but like many great works, it is fueled by a story buried deep within that we each want to tell to the world, a message we want to send. Holy Land is, in this vein, a manga about finding one's place and struggling to get there. Our protagonist, Yuu Kamishiro, begins as a weak person, both mentally and physically, and dealing with bullies. Soon after he discovers this new book on fighting techniques, he develops a powerful punch, gifted by his ruthless determination to get stronger, practicing day and night without rest. Armed with this technique, this one punch, he goes out into the streets at night and starts fighting gangsters and thugs, hunting the kinds of people who hurt him. This continues, and eventually Yuu meets friends on the streets, former boxers and judo users, grapplers and karate practitioners, as well as a slew of other martial artists. The story follows this progression of facing a new opponent, becoming stronger, either through advancement of technique or physique, then facing said opponent. All this, of course, happens with the larger plot unfolding underneath, and more characters entering the fold. As Yuu becomes stronger, he is faced with the first large dilemma, the dilemma of having power and using it for violence, for hurting others, the same thing that was done to him. Eventually, this dilemma comes to a boil when his first real friend is targeted by a group of thugs and is nearly killed while heading to work. After this incident, Kamishiro's other side unleashes. He has trouble controlling his violence and continually questions his actions. These people he's beating up, even if they're thugs, they're still human beings, and they also have stories and reasons for their actions. What if they're just like him, hurting the world back for hurting them? Holy Land is filled with these musings and more. While the more emotional and philosophical themes are present, the main thrust of the story is told through visceral combat. Throughout the manga, Kouji interjects to talk directly to the reader about the technical aspects of the fighting which is taking place. I'm not entirely certain how much experience he has with combat sports, but he speaks with some authority and seems to be somewhat knowledgeable. Although I may be a poor judge, as I have no experience in any martial art, I will say that the explanations are detailed, and even if they are theoretical, they still serve to progress the story, as well as the reader's understanding of the techniques which are taking place. Lastly, I want to talk briefly on the meaning of Holy Land. As the core of which the story is structured around, there is an intensity which arises every time Yuu brings up his holy land. Without spoiling anything, I will say that Yu comes to a realization. He has become strong to protect this holy land. And so I want to ask this question to you again. What is your holy land? Where is the place you see beauty and love? Where is that place where you feel only peace? Where is that place you belong?